Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Um, this will probably technically be the second video on my channel. Um, the first one I posted months ago, so doesn't really count. It does, but it doesn't really count. Um, but this is my first official video on my channel. Um, it is a legacy challenge for The Sims 4. So I figured I would kind of just make the first video, one about the rules that I came up with and kind of what the challenge is going to look like. And then the second part is me doing the cast for the sim, which I'll speed up and then just do a video over. Um, so yeah, I guess welcome in. Um, I was bored at work one day and came up with this challenge. It's called the Pepper Legacy Challenge because I was drinking a Dr. Pepper and I was like, you could totally make a sim based off of Dr. Pepper. And I was like, wait, why don't I just make it a challenge? So that's kind of how it came to be. So I guess we'll start here. It's pretty much the same setup as like Very Veggie by Lil Simsy or something like that, which I put in here. Not the actual challenge part of it, but just the rules. I kind of based it off of hers. So, first, you will start with one young adult sim. They'll be the founder, obviously, like in every legacy challenge. You can totally customize them, like create a sim wise, besides traits. So, like what they look like, their walk style, their outfits, favorite color, likes, dislikes, turn ons, turn offs, whatever the Sims has now. You can do whatever they want. Their name, whatever, doesn't matter. Um, I personally am going to make the last name Pepper and continue that throughout the challenge, but obviously, again, you can do whatever you want. Um, and then yeah, so as I said before, the only rule is they have to have the same traits, career, and aspiration listed on the generation rules tab. So I'll get to that in a minute. Um, but yeah, move into any lot you want, except for I think it's Gen 9. I don't think you can I think I have you living in Sulani or Oasis Springs if you're base game only. Um but yeah, other than that, when you start empty lot, $0 to your name, rags to riches all the way. Um and then, long story short, to complete the challenge, you must play through 10 generations of the same family and complete all listed tasks. And I did not make it easy, so it'll give you something to do. You have to follow the same career and aspiration given. However, if you finish the career or finish the aspiration, feel free to do more. You just have to start with those and complete them fully before you move on to anything else. So yeah, if you're playing on long lifespan or whatever, that's probably gonna happen. But I don't know what I want to do. I think I'm gonna do normal, but we'll see. Um, and then yeah, I said you may live in any neighborhood except for Gen 9. No cheating, unless you want it to be boring. But I mean, if cheating's not boring for you, then go for it. But it's boring for me. Um, I like my Sims to live hard lives. I feel like most of us do, which is kind of sadistic, but that's what makes The Sims fun, that and mods. Um, but yeah, so except for cheating your funds to zero, turning move objects on, you can't do it. Oh, and then I have to get rid of bonuses you receive in Gen 1. I'll go into that later as well. If you're missing any requirements, I made a base game version, which I will go over in this video as well, and have fun. As far as generation heirs go, so obviously each sim has to have a child for this challenge to work. I spelled challenge wrong. Let me fix that really quickly. However, that can be done however you want, whether it's, pregnancy, science, baby, adoption, alien abduction, whatever. But there has to be at least one child born in each generation, obviously, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to continue the challenge. And then the next gen either starts when you finish all aspirations or tasks, or when the next future generation becomes a young adult. Whichever you'd rather, doesn't matter, but go for it. Um, Another thing to note, I'm playing through this on Twitch and posting it on my YouTube channel. I don't know if I'm going to record every episode on Twitch. I'm probably going to do other games for that. But I'll probably, stream a couple of episodes in there. Um, all under Cicely Sims, same profile picture, same everything. So there's that. Um, please tag me in any videos, any posts, anything. Um, using hashtag Pepper Legacy. I'm on Instagram too. Says it right there. I'm on Instagram under Cicely Sims. I had a Simstagram back in the day, still kind of do. Um, but yeah, so please tag me in everything. I'd love to see it. Um, I've also never play tested this. Obviously, this is my first time play testing it. So I guess we'll see what happens. If some things don't work, we'll figure it out together. And then, yeah, I said I was inspired by Lil Simsy's legacy challenges, but I did not copy her. At least I don't believe I did. So our generations are going to be banana, like banana pepper, chipotle pepper, pepper jack, best cheese in the world, ghost pepper, habanero pepper, bell pepper, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club for all the Beatles fans out there, salt and pepper, which is going to be a twins heir, the Carolina Reaper, and Dr. Pepper for the end. So I guess we'll start with banana. Um, so I guess we'll just read and then go through it. So you had a rough childhood. Your parents weren't there for you and never acknowledged your achievements. You grew up with little funds in a rundown house in a bad neighborhood. Because of your lack of family, you learned to be independent and do things for yourself. After graduation, you realized you needed to change. You left your old life behind and moved with absolutely nothing to your name, keeping no relationships in the process. All you want is to live a humble life, raise a kind family, and have a good conscience. So I felt like that was a good beginner description. Kind of a rough life for Banana over here. But their traits will be socially awkward, generous, and loyal. Um, trick. Okay, actually, I'll get into it in the addition rules down below. For your career, as a young adult, you'll be a fast food employee, and as an adult, you'll be a chef. And then your aspiration is master chef. Um, so additional rules for this generation. Obviously, it's going to be hard enough starting from scratch, but you cannot join the culinary career until you're an adult. I feel like that'll make it even harder. Like, I feel like, you're settling for a fast food employee, and then, you'll need an extra push from, your future spouse, your kids to be like, no, like, go be a full time chef. You can do it. Build up that confidence. But you have to max cooking and gourmet cooking skills and the gardening skill, as well as grow a cow plant, which you need to keep alive for all generations. I'll probably kill it right away if I'm being honest, but that one's kind of just like a silly one. But you do have to max the gardening skill to do that. Um, but this is what I was talking about back in the overview tab. You have to donate each bonus you receive to charity, no matter how much it is. So you know how you level up in a career, and it's like, oh, you reached level 7 or whatever, and you get a bonus for doing so. Can't keep it. Have to donate it. That's just how good Banana is. They're just such a great person. Um, but if you're in the base game, luckily you can still do the same things. You just have to change your traits. So you're going to be childish, good, and loyal instead of socially awkward and generous. Um, yeah, childish and good. So moving on to Chipotle. Um, while you admire your work, oh, I already messed up. While you admire your parents' work ethic, you believe they have settled. They opted out of one too many opportunities that could have given your family a great name and reputation, and you want to do something about it. You believe your family's hobbies could be turned into a business, and that is what you are determined to do. While they may not approve, you saw how hard your parents had to fight to get you to where you are, and you want to give them the recognition they deserve. Oh, also, you love the salsa because Chipotle salsa is the best, especially the green one. Anyways, I just figured that'd be something silly to do on the side. So their traits will be ambitious, overachiever, and family oriented. They want to be a small business owner. I was kind of thinking restaurant. So if you have dine out, you can do that version. If you have business and hobbies, you can do that version. If you have both, do whatever. Um, but the business and hobbies one works better for me at least. So I'll probably do my restaurant that way. But whatever. Um, and your aspiration is a successful lineage. Which I feel like makes sense for, their little caption, I guess you could say, their biography. But additional rules for this generation: you have to max the dancing skill, max the cooking skill, achieve a 5-star business, and have all your family members work at the family business until the next gen heir becomes a young adult. I feel like that'd be funny. It's a family business, like you said. You want to get your parents in on it, but you also want to get your kids in on it, and they might not approve as much. But it's fine. And then base game wise, I think yeah, the traits aren't too off. You still have ambitious and family oriented, but you're going to be perfectionist instead. And then your career is in the business management branch. Still have the successful lineage. You have to max charisma and logic, max cooking, reach level 10 of the career, and all children that you have to have a part-time job as a teenager. So I feel like this kind of just like, pushing them to do their best, even if they don't want to, you gotta get in there, get a career, make your family proud. Anyways, Generation 3 is Pepper Jack, and this is one of my favorites of this challenge. So, the family business took off, and you grew up learning what good food tastes like. You feel like an outsider because you struggle to cook yourself. However, you have a knack for learning a recipe just by tasting it. You travel to competitors' restaurants and sample their food, learning their secret recipes, and listening to gossip to help your family business stay ahead. While you get away with this for a while, unfortunately for you, your taste buds may have a much more sophisticated palate than you can handle. So, their traits are snob, foodie, and nosy. They're going to be a food critic, and their aspiration is the seeker of secrets. Um, which I feel like I've never done that aspiration, and it's just weird, but I kind of want to do it. That came with what was the one with Tomaron? I don't know. Whatever that world is. I forget. Oh, get for rent. No. Yeah, for rent. I think that's what it came with. There's too many packs now. I can't keep up. But anyways, the reason why I said you might have a more sophisticated palate than you can handle is because you must die from eating poor quality pufferfish as an adult. Um, Obviously, unless you only have a base game, then you can't. But yeah, you have to die prematurely. And I think, why not? Die from poor quality pufferfish sounds fun to me. Not really. I don't want to do it, but my Sims can. So yeah, you must die from pufferfish. You have to max the charisma skill, create 5 family recipes, and you're not allowed to cook anything unless it's a family recipe. Otherwise, you can only eat quick meals or food others prepare. Because you quote unquote can't cook. However, you do need the cooking career or cooking skill for your career. I think you only need to go up to level 5 though. So you cannot go above level 5 cooking. Just can't. Try not to. It's not like a, hard rule. Just try not to do it. If you're base game only, you're going to be a snob, foodie, and outgoing. You can pick your career, whatever you want. And then your aspiration is a neighborhood confidant. So this one I don't think I've ever done as well. But it's just like you're influencing your neighbors and whatnot. Um, yeah, so this one is you must die in adulthood. I'll let you choose how. There's still plenty of ways to die early. So, yeah, still die in adulthood. Also, max the charisma skill. You can't have a cooking skill higher than level 3, though, because you don't need it for your career anymore. And then you're not allowed to cook anything, period. Eat quick meals or food others prepare as well. And obviously, as I said, autonomy is the thing. Sims are going to do what they want. So, if they accidentally cook, that's fine. But try to keep it under level 3. So that's why I didn't put it at level 1, because that's just unrealistic. Okay, next is Ghost Pepper. So, struggling after your parents' untimely death, you use the web to search for answers. Is there an afterlife? Do all ghosts find peace? No one truly knows, so you're determined to find out for yourself. You choose to deal with the afterlife head on and devote your life to getting those answers. Because of this, you start distancing yourself from the ones you love and have a hard time putting any effort into anything else. While you may say your actions are based on love, your family may not feel the same way. So your traits are going to be macabre, loner, and bookworm. You're going to be a paranormal investigator, and your aspiration is a ghost historian. Um, you're going to max the medium skill, which I don't know if I've ever done either. There's a lot of things I haven't done, which is why I wanted to do this challenge. I have so many hours in The Sims. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen here. It's actually ridiculous. I've been playing since I was 7 years old, and I'm 23 now, so a lot of time. But yeah, max the medium skill, max the writing skill. You can only have one child. If it happens to be twins, triplets, whatever, but just try to make it only one child or one pregnancy, we could say, or adoption, or whatever you choose, one child. And you can't get married either unless it is to a ghost, and even then, it's for research purposes only. Um, Base game wise, you're going to be a gloomy loner and a bookworm. You're going to be a writer and be a best selling author for your aspiration. You have to max the logic and writing skill. Can also only have one child, and you also cannot get married unless it is to a ghost. Um, just I feel like Ghost doesn't want the burden of losing any more family members, so they're only going to get married if either A, they have to, or for research. So that's why I said a ghost. I don't really feel them as a romance kind of person. However, good old habanero pepper is. So, your parents spent all their time loving one person, and you're determined not to make that same choice. You love love and decide you want to share it with everyone. Instead of dedicating yourself to one person, you decide to have relationships with multiple people and try to get others to do the same by sharing your ideals on your blog. While not everyone may agree with your views, you loyally stick by them. Life is too short to love one person for your whole life. If you care about someone, show them all the love you have to offer. So kind of the complete opposite of their parent. Um, but they're going to be a love bug, cheerful, and erratic. Their career is romance consultant, matchmaker branch, or you could do the other branch. I don't really care. And your aspiration is a paragon partner. Um, One thing to note really quick. I tried giving everyone different traits, by the way. I don't know. You'll be able to go through the list and see. But I don't think a single one is repeated for this top row. And for base game, I think I only repeated it twice. I think ambitious was in there twice. And maybe, yeah, ambitious in there twice. And maybe mean. But they're like on far ends of each other. So it'll be fine. I want to make it fun. Each sim's different, But back to habanero. Um, Additional rules are you have to own a blog, you have to max the media production skill, max the romance skill, and have 2 or more partners with a full relationship and friendship bar until death. I figured 2 is easy to handle. Plus 2 is going to be a little hectic, but you never know. Maybe you can have 5 partners and be perfectly fine. Leave it up to you. That's the best part about it. If your base game, you are going to be romantic, cheerful, and erratic. You can choose your career again, and you are a serial romantic. Your additional rules are to woohoo in every different way possible, max the charisma skill, max the photography skill, and have 2+ partners with a full relationship and friendship bar until death as well. Only problem for you is that that's going to be a lot harder to do. Actually, I don't know, because you can technically turn like jealousy off if you have all the packs. Well, if you have Love Struck, but also jealousy isn't a thing in base game. So I don't know. It could be easier for you, maybe not. But moving on to Bell Pepper. Your parent lived recklessly, which is the reason why you're here, so you need order in your life. What's the best way to have order? To do it yourself, obviously. Your dream is to go to school and become a judge. You crave control and hate chaos. People even call you the Iron Fist because of how strict you are. While this reputation is what you wanted, you can't help but feel unliked. You don't let it get you down, though. You don't want to be liked, you want to be respected. What matters to you most is knowledge, justice, and order in the court. So, again, very different from the previous generation, but not in the same way as Ghost. Um, so you are going to be self-assured, romantically reserved, and an idealist. You're going to be a judge. And I gave you 2 aspirations for this one. Now, again, I know this is going to be difficult, so just try your best. You have to do the academic, but if you can't get through the Renaissance, it's okay. So, yeah, a lot of work going to be done with this game, because I feel like the one before, it was fun. You had a blog, you were dating a bunch of people. It wasn't that hard for your sim to do their thing. So I want to be a challenge. Um, so rules wise, you have to max the logic skill and research and debate skill to complete both aspirations. Again, I said try your best. If you can do it, great. If you have to, make the lifespan to be long to do it, so be it. But try to complete both aspirations. You have to have a strict family dynamic with your children. And since you must reach level 3 in 3 different careers, the first 2 are your choice, but the third has to be law and it must be completed. So, whether you do part-time jobs at the same time, because I think those only go up to level 3. Some might go to level 5, but I think those just go to level 3. Whatever you want to do, I don't care. But 3 careers, law has to be the last one, and it has to be completed. And you can also only have one child. Oh wait, I said with children. Um, I might get rid of this. I don't know if you should only have one child. I might get rid of that. Do whatever you want. Have fun. But it has to be a strict family dynamic. And if your base game, you're going to be self-assured, non-committal, and a bookworm. You get to pick your career. And you also have to do the Renaissance Sim aspiration, but that one you have to do first now. You get to choose a second one to try and complete after. Um, Additional rules are you have to max the logic skill, complete 2 aspirations. You're not allowed to have more than half of a friendship bar with your children, because I don't think you have family dynamics in base game. So yeah, keep that friendship low. Sorry. And try to read every single book in the game, which is going to be super challenging, and I don't think you can do it. But if you can do it, that's pretty cool. Um, so moving on, next it is Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club. So, your parent loves structure, which is exactly what they gave to you. While they were strict, you are their only child. Oh, that's why I made it only child. Okay. Hold on. Let me go back and change that. So, can only have one child. Okay. Um and I'm going to change that to child as well. Okay. Cool. If you have more, who cares? Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Anyways, um while they were strict, you were their only child, and so you wanted to make them proud. You joined the military like they wanted, but you know you were destined to do something different. Growing up, music provides you freedom, which is something your parent didn't do. You learned to play every instrument, and in high school formed a band. To this day, your parent doesn't know about it. You intend to keep it this way until an unexpected pregnancy says otherwise. So, your traits are a music lover, hot headed, and creative. You are going to be in the military, in the officer branch, or I forget what the other branch is. Doesn't matter. Military career. But you're also going to have a band. So, if you have get together, you can do this easily. If not, I put down below how you can do it. But basically just create a group. Is that called a group? What are the I don't know. A club. Create a club. Make it your band. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So your aspiration's a musical genius. And additional rules are you have to form a band as a teenager. So it's kind of bleeding into the last one a little bit. But you have to meet up at least once a week and try to do this through adulthood. I understand, life gets in the way, but once a week is not hard to do, even if it's for like an hour in The Sims. So meet up with your band once a week or more. Max the guitar, piano, pipe organ, and violin skills. Your partner must be a bandmate, and you have to start dating as a teenager. And you have to have the same partner for your whole life, just, because you're a lover. And have twins with them too. You can do this with only line, the fertile reward trait, whatever, but they will be the next generation. Has to be twins. So if you have to keep having kids until you get those twins, do it. Um, but yeah, and if your base game, I think you actually have the same traits. Music lover, hot-headed, creative. Yes. You know what I mean? Entertainer, musician. Um, I didn't do this up here as well. Because it's just I don't think you can have 2 jobs to begin with. I mean, if you want to do it after you max the military career, go for it. But yeah, I do the musician branch way too much. So yeah, I made it military. But yeah, also musical genius. And then I think yes, so you can have clubs with base game, but you can still create a hangout with the same group of people. Yeah, so hangouts are still a thing. Go for it. Um, and yeah, It's all the same thing, although I don't think you have only line. I think that came with City Living. Um, so just use the fertile reward trait. Um, and yeah. So next are the twins, which their generation is also very fun. Okay. So, as a result of a very dysfunctional family, you both grew into being opposites. One ended up liking structure like their grandparent, and the other craving passion like your parents. Normally, this would cause issues, but you were the yin and yang to each other and balanced each other out. This stayed true as you grew up until you both ended up taking very different paths in life. One of your dreams is to be a lead detective for the FBI and help families find peace, and the other is to cause chaos legally or illegally. While your jobs in society keep you apart, you are still therefore and love each other. You share a home and never want to grow apart like your family did. Will you be able to keep your strong bond, or will your career paths steer you different directions? Nothing could ever break the bonds of twins, right? Okay, so the first twin is competitive, good, and a party animal. Their career is a detective and they want to be a friend of the world. The other twin is mean, a horse lover, and genius. I'll explain the horse lover in a minute. And their career is an astronaut, interstellar smuggler, and their aspiration is the chief of mischief. So for the cop twin, they have to max charisma and logic skills, live together and maintain a best friend status with your twin, which is the same thing for both. Marry someone who despises your twin, and throw a party once a week, which is probably going to be very annoying because I hate throwing parties in Sims. But if you think about it, there are holidays every week, weddings, pool parties, whatever. There's so many different little things you can do, and you don't have to invite a bunch of people. You can just have people come over and do like a potluck or, play cards or something. Um, for the mischievous twin, they have to max the mischief and horse riding skills, live together and maintain the best friend status with the twin. They have to have a child. It'll be the next gen heir. The cop twin does not, but I feel like it'd be fun to have a cousin. But yeah, they'll be the next generation heir. Own a horse, just like all cartel and mafia bosses do. And it's true. They all own horses. That's how they, smuggle their money. So that's why you own a horse. You have to win the ultimate horse championship with that horse. Um, I feel like it's probably gonna be hard to do that on top of your career, but why not? Why not go for it? Base game wise, the cop twin is a bro, good and outgoing. They're going to be a secret agent and a friend of the world. They have to max charisma and logic skills, live together, maintain best friend status, marry someone who despises your twin, throw a party once a week. Pretty much the same things. And then for the criminal twin, they're going to be mean, materialistic, and a genius. Still going to be an astronaut, still the same aspiration. To max the mischief and rocket science skills and have a secret lair in the basement of your home. Because obviously, you don't have horses. But yeah, have a secret lair. Put a vault. Oh, do you have vaults in base game? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But make a vault where all your money goes, or a bar or a hangout session for all your little villain friends. You could create a hangout with a bunch of other villains in town. So many different things you could do. Um, Next is the Carolina Reaper. So, Generation 9, being the child of a villain isn't easy, but you have learned to love it. While your parent wreaks havoc on lifers, you plan on bringing chaos to the afterlife. Reaping souls and denying pleas for resurrection are what you live for. Even though it makes you the bad guy, you can't help but find pleasure in being the Grim Reaper. You like to live hot, and if necessary, you will go down in flames. Maintaining relationships isn't easy for you, but secretly, you hope there might be someone out there who can turn down your level of spice, or at least embrace it. I love this generation too. I think this will be really fun to play. So, your traits will be evil, romantic, and high maintenance. Your career is obviously the Reaper, but your aspiration is a soulmate. You want a soulmate, someone to fall in love with, and yeah, that's it. Um, you have to max the Thanatology skill, max the romance skill, live on the beach in Solani, max your spice tolerance level to receive the Spice Hound trait, and only fall in love once. And somehow get the sim to marry you and love you back. I kind of wanted everything to revolve around hot. So, you got the spice level, live on the beach in Solani. Um, You're gonna have like a burning passion for one person that you end up spending your life with. Yeah, so I felt like it would be kind of fun to do, like live a Grim Reaper living on the beach, you know. Anyways, if your base game, you're gonna be evil, romantic, and a snob. Are they the same? Close. Evil, romantic, and a snob. You're gonna be a criminal, and aspiration still soulmate. You have to max the mischief skill, the handiness skill. You have to live in Oasis Springs, and still only fall in love once. Okay, so I just realized that I recorded reading Dr. Pepper, and you guys were not able to see it. So if the screen looks a little different, that's why. But I fixed it. So going back to Dr. Pepper, um, growing up, all your parent talked about was death, and you were sick of it. What happened to your past family members? What happened to being the good guy? All you want to do with your life is to save lives and promote your fizzy juice business. I mean, what good's a doctor without an ego? In addition to helping people, you own the best juice business in town, or at least want to. The best prescription for an illness isn't medicine, it's fizzy juice made by the one and only. I guess you could say it's just what the doctor ordered. I put the little Dr. Pepper slogan in there on purpose. Um, so Dr. Pepper's traits will be self-absorbed, maker, and shady. Their career is obviously a doctor. And their aspiration is esteemed entrepreneur. Additional rules are you have to max juice fizzing, entrepreneur, and charisma skills. You have to drink a fizzy juice every day, or at least try to. Achieve a 5-star business, achieve level 10 in your career, and align your business with the schemer path and reach level 3 of this alignment. Um, as far as base game goes, your traits are self-assured, creative, and ambitious. Your career is a culinary mixologist, and you want to be fabulously wealthy. Additional rules for base game is you have to max mixology and charisma skills, drink a cocktail every day, or at least try to, achieve level 10 in your career, and you cannot get married or have children until you are an adult. You can, have flings, have lovers, but can't get married or have kids until you're an adult. Unless you have risky woohoo on and it happens, then, it happens. Um, but yeah, as far as drinking a fizzy juice and drinking a cocktail, I know it's kind of hard to do, but for the regular version, if you're going to have a fizzy juice business, you're around it all the time, so you might as well drink one. And then if you're a mixologist, you're making drinks all the time. So I don't think it'd be that hard to try and have one of those drinks every day. Um, but yeah, so those are all of the generations. I think they're pretty funny and going to be super fun to play with. So I guess I will put this in the description under my video. I will link the Google Doc so that you can, look at the rules, look at the generations, read along with me, or play for yourself. But yeah, I'll put that down there. And I guess now we can get into the create a sim of our Generation 1 heir. I have not created a sim yet. I'm about to do it now and then record later, kind of, the overview of them. But I do know their last name will be Pepper. So let's get into it. Okay, hi everybody. I am back. It's actually the next day. I wasn't quite sure if I liked this sim, so I kind of slept on it overnight and this morning a little bit, thought about it, but I think I like her. So I named her Annie Pepper. At first I was just gonna do Anna Pepper, like banana pepper. Um, but I like Annie better. So we're gonna do Annie Pepper. She's a young adult, obviously. Her traits are generous, loyal, and socially awkward, obviously. And then she has the master chef aspiration. The most interesting parts about her are actually her likes and dislikes. So I'm going to do those last and kind of go through her outfits with you. So we'll start with our everyday outfit. I think this is so cute. It's my favorite outfit of hers. It's just simple. Oh yeah, she likes basics fashion. So I always like to randomize their likes, dislikes, turn-offs, turn-ons, whatever else they have, and then follow them. That way, it's not just me creating someone perfect for me that I want to create. It's kind of, making an actual character. But yeah, and I'm She doesn't have a favorite color. I just made all her outfits yellow because, again, banana pepper. She does hate the color purple though, which kind of offends me because purple's my favorite. But regardless. So yeah, this is her everyday outfit. She has a few, actually just two. And this is another one because it is going to be summer and it's going to be hot when we start. So have that. And then her formal wear, she looks like a banana. Um, I did this on purpose. I found this dress and I just said, yeah, like I have to have her in this dress. So this is her formal wear. Again, super simple. Athletic wear, I actually kind of hate, but this is the only yellow thing they have exercise wise. So I just went for it. And she also hates fitness. So she's never going to be in it. I literally just had to kill the biggest spider I've ever seen in my life. Um, so continuing on, this is her sleepwear. It's not very basicsy. Like technically, it's a basics fashion outfit. But I just thought it was cute to put her in. I don't think I even realized this dress was in the game. Maybe I did. I don't know. But the yellow swatch is very cute. So why not? Party wear, I gave her two outfits. This is the first one, more of like a chill, clubby, outgoing kind of outfit. And this one's more formal. Um, I know this isn't kind of a party outfit. Like it is. It's just like, more dressed up than I would normally give my Sims. But I love this dress and I just needed to use it in one of her outfits. And I already had her banana dress in her formal wear, so yeah, I just put this here. Swimmer wise, just a yellow bathing suit. Good old banana. Hot weather, she has jorts, which I love. I have a pair of jorts myself. Love them to death. But yeah, super basic. Got the flip flops, everything. And then I also gave her this outfit, which is different than what I normally would have. But I don't know. I thought this was cute. I never use this from. Well, I wouldn't say never. I usually use this watch from Eco Lifestyle. But I was like, why not? Just give her an extra outfit or two. Something that I never use. That's the whole point of this. I created this challenge so that I could, do careers and things that I never do in the game. So yeah, why not just stick to the trend? And then lastly, this is her outerwear outfit. Well, one of the two. This one is, again, more dressed up than the other. This one is more casual. So I feel like she would wear this one in the fall, this one in the winter, but it's the Sims and they'll wear a bikini in a snowstorm. So it happens. But yeah, those are her outfits. Um, and yeah, so I guess let me go through her likes and dislikes with you, and that'll be the end of this video. Um, so she likes arguments. Shocker. Oh, she does like yellow. Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, she likes arguments and physical intimacy and dancing. So, a little interesting, but my Sims are always like this. They just, never have that preference. Um, so nothing out of the ordinary for me. But okay, arguments, physical intimacy, cool. She dislikes R&B music, funny Sims, fitness, deep thoughts, outdoorsy fashion, preppy fashion, alternative music, and purple. She dislikes a lot of things. Um, Especially the funny Sims and deep thoughts. Okay, girl, you do you. She's turned on by white hair, cool, black hair, pessimistic Sims, and argumentative Sims. It just cool. Keeps getting worse. And she does not like hipster, self-employed Sims, green clothes, or affection. So just to summarize, she likes arguments and physical intimacy. She does not like deep thoughts or affection, and she likes to argue. So what can really go wrong? Am I right? Um, I'm gonna play it off as like she has these issues because of her past family. If you remember, it wasn't so good growing up. So that's why she likes these Sims, and you never know, maybe she'll have some personality swaps in there and she'll get over it. But yeah, I guess we can go in and play. Um I put her in, I believe, in Oasis Springs lot. Yes. I put her. Where did I put her? Put her here. Is this next to Johnny? Oh, I don't think it is. I think he was on the other one. I always end up playing with Johnny Zest. One of my current households, she my sim has married both Manuel from Love Struck and Johnny Zest. Well, she's married Manny twice. Married him first, then had kids with Johnny and married him, and then went back to Manny. So it's a whole thing between the three of them. But they always love Johnny and they always love Thorn Bailey. And that's my other current household. She's like all over him. So I don't know. Loves the weird blondes, I guess you could say. So maybe Annie will follow in the footsteps. But yeah, this is gonna be a lot. I am super excited to get started with this. Already cheated the money down to 0, so I guess I will see you in the next video and we'll get started with this challenge. Bye.